This is Gerald Tovamas. In the last video I have recorded the word port, which is actually not too much different from part, so why not also show you PAARD, how much it is different from port. The method that I use is based upon positions that have a meaningfulness, how we associate them. They are associated very automatically because some letters we hear really in a very short time and they don't change anything, so we associate them at a certain specific point automatically. Some other letters we hear them change a bit over time, so that's also a different way of associating it. We need time for it, and also some words that have almost like a general influence on the whole word, like a vibration or a reflection, and they are related with other letters, and that's why how I can relate all the letters to a specific position and movement and quality, actually, that is very specific for every letter. Well, we can make the puzzle. Port was one of these examples. And I had this example here that you see, okay, the letter R is this continuation of movement in the background, in which you can apply a definition into, so that you can have an access to make this definition work actually within the word. That's more or less the description of that position. A position that finds an access point, connects to it, and also finds an access point, the same access point later in time, to disconnect actually. And this is a reusable definition. The O was then about the environment, so this environment around the place of where I'm focusing upon, that changes over time. Why does it change over time? Because P is about something that changes over time, and that's associated with something like a pop-up or something that pops out of the situation. With the O, I'm focusing upon a certain environment, so I have an access point in an environment which I'm accessing, and I will access it at one place, and I also can displace myself also from that place onwards. That's port. So part, of course, I already told you in the last video, the A is really focusing upon a physical focus in the middle, and that's around, of course, that push in time. And the R is also the same thing, so it is like an access point which I have, okay, I find a way where I will have that physical reference actually, where I can push it out, and there I will also take it out at the same time. That's my next definition. And the T will also be almost like port, also that position where something pushes out. Is that enough to understand part? No, we really have to understand what the A is about compared to the O. O was about an environment around a focus. A is really about, that focus has that almost physical reference. That makes it also that everything which is involved has a physical reference. So instead of like here with O, you had that access point with movement as well, where you had a movement that had an access point, an entering definition, and a leaving definition. So the movements were important because O is also about movement and changes and that kind of things, so that you have actually these, you can have actually an idea that yes, I move something in that environment at a certain place with the letter T, with a certain direction. P is direction, O is direction, R is connecting to it, and T is that placement. A, on the other hand, is because of the A is from the first category, it is more about physical reference, almost like I have a certain objective, that's the one, and I have to take something out. So it's much more literally actually something that almost into a point, that point of A actually, the middle point that I'm focusing upon, and there something is pushed out again with the P. That will also become more physical. So let's also express it a bit more physical. I have to also access it from that middle point. So that's, you see already where I'm getting at. You're focusing upon the middle in A, the P that pushes out from the middle, still physical, and you have more or less the idea, yes, that's that part, that's that physical part that I'm taking out. It's not about about a whole environment, which I go from one environment to another one. No, it's a physicality, which I take out physicality. Even if I don't have to take it out physically, I'm already in my idea of focus. I take that out. I take that part out. There's also still one more word that I still want to say something very briefly about. PAARD, and PAARD, the Dutch word, is with a double A and with a D. Also there I will focus very much onto the physical parts, and the movement itself as well will be even more exaggerated, because the last letter is a D, and the D is about movement. So I have to have this physical movement, which I didn't work out completely, but I had it before. So thanks again for watching. Bye.